This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
Rated mature audiences only. A viewer discretion is advised. Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. This is the Patriot Brief. All right, guys, let's get the show started, huh?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal. Getting a little chilly here in the Atlanta area, but I'm doing pretty good.
Well, I'm in Minnesota. You don't need to tell me.
Oh, I bet it's a lot colder over there, and you guys are just getting into the beginning of it, probably.
Yeah, 40-something today.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Yeah, it has gone down to the 40s here in the Atlanta area last week. We've seen the beginning of the 40s and everything else, but it's back to the 70s. So we're not probably going to get cold until like another about month and a half, possibly a month. But
we're down around freezing in the mornings and that night.
Oh, wow. So, yeah.
It's like the old Soviet Union. We stay here because they keep our families.
I hear you. So, with that being said, PJ, let's kick off the show. Again, my name is Mike, the Patriot Angle podcast here, guys. We have on the right of the screen, to the left, depending on how you're viewing the screen, PJ of Archangel Protective Intelligence, guys. You can follow him on Instagram. He'll pop right up. Really good individual here. With that being said, PJ, let's kick off with the topic here of the CIA and what your analysis was on that.
Well, I've been really looking into some of the tactics that the CIA has used in the past, and it really looks like they're doing a lot with what's called Operation Mockingbird or Project Mockingbird. They were using a lot of techniques to push propaganda to the American people. Anderson Cooper was one of the people that they were using, and he has not been forthright about what his involvement still is with the CIA. But I've been looking into what's called the Alice in Wonderland technique quite a bit. And they used that on detainees as recently as Guantanamo. And I'll describe the technique for you. The technique is a psychological torture technique where you place a subject in pressure positions, you deprive them of sleep, and then 2 or 3 interrogators come in and scream nonsense questions at them. And when they can't answer the nonsense questions, they are punished or told they'll be punished. They're not allowed to answer these nonsense questions. And the desired outcome of this technique is to break a person's sense of reality and replace it with just a new weird reality. And they will comply to anything and answer any question you want to get back to normal. And that statement that they make, back to normal stands out to me because we hear that so often right now. Back to normal.
Right. So, like, what do you? What's the difference? Since we have this on the topic here, what's the difference between the CIA versus the FBI? Like, what do you think is the difference between the two groups?
Well, the CIA is supposed to only be able to target foreign nationals and not operate inside the United States. They can operate inside the United States if they are targeting foreign nationals, where the FBI is supposed to be domestic, but those lines have been very much blurred. Now, the CIA has a black budget. It is secret. You can get some of the details on that, but that is kept secret from the American people, and leaked and unclassified information has come out partly through people like Julian Assange and Edward Snowden, who of course are Julian Assange especially is always in the news right now.
Right.
That has revealed that the CIA has been operating domestically for a very long time and uses many legal loopholes and many legal backdoors, but a lot of the authority granted to them through things like the Patriot Act to spy on and manipulate American citizens.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, it's kind of similar to what we're seeing here in the States here with the whole COVID thing. It's becoming very politicized, and almost an aspect of as it's being used as a political weapon against our own people. And
it's all related, Mike. If you look back at the history of things like the war on terror, we are getting, and I'm old enough to remember a lot of the rhetoric that was used.
right.
And unfortunately, I went along with a lot of the rhetoric used. But the war on terror was kind of this amorphous war where we didn't have any clear enemy. It was just sort of terror. Now we have a war on this virus.
Right.
And it's been spoken about in those terms, and the government has used it to amass a lot of power to themselves. But it's still one of these amorphous wars where there's no end goal. There's no end goal in sight. We don't know. We had 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Now it's been 2 years, and the curve, I don't know if that's been flattened, but a lot of our civil liberties certainly been flattened. And we don't have we are even shooting for at this point.
Right. It's bad. It really is. It's getting really bad with just everything. Like you said, the war on terror, basically, I mean, we're seeing our own war being unfolded right in front of our eyes. Like I said, mentioned with this COVID thing, acting as a politicized weapon. It's coming down to a fact where it's not so much being implemented as a public health factor, but more of a control factor of a mechanism by the radical left.
And, it was since the start. You could see it unfolding since the start. And some of us had said, and I didn't know you at the start of this thing, but I have to imagine you were one of those people that said, if we start giving up civil liberties now,
right,
they're not coming back.
Oh, no.
they're not just going to give them back. No one just gives up power voluntarily.
No, it's going to be a long fight, PJ. It's going to be a long fight ahead of us. This thing is not over. It's not over. It might get played into the 2022 midterms. Sure as hell might get played into the 2024 general election, and by that time, I don't know where our country is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be more divided as a nation, or it's going to be, or we're going to reconcile our differences. I don't see us reconciling anything in the next 2, possibly 3 years with all of this.
Well, watch what Dr. Fauci says, because Dr. Fauci has very much been a political cheerleader for the left and a weapon of the left
right
at the moment. And he was saying that maybe we'll get back to normal this fall. Maybe we'll get back to normal by the start of 2022. And he got kind of attacked by his own side. He got kind of attacked by the left. And then he started saying things like, well, we might get back to the left, or we might get back to normal by fall of 2022 or by winter of 2022.
Right.
And that takes us right into the midterm elections. That takes us right into a situation where now we need to have mail-in ballots yet again. They have decided that this system has worked out well for them, and they're not going to give it up.
No. Like, who was it? The great, I guess you could call it great because there's a lot of people that attack him. Sean Hannity, just, what was it, about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, said, this is a crisis that they're not going to let go to waste. They're going to play it right out. Because PJ, this is the only type of message they have. They don't have anything. They can't provide great jobs. They can't provide a healthy economy. They can't provide a secured border. They can't. The radical left, the Democrats, are becoming a party that's literally not for the American people, and we're clearly seeing that.
We're seeing that today. We're seeing in places like Virginia and even in places like New Jersey that have not completely been settled. You're seeing blue dog working class Democrats, union Democrats who are always safe votes for Democrats, rejecting their platform, rejecting their party because they're not represented anymore.
No, we're clearly seeing that. We're clearly seeing that, that this is a party of, I don't even know if you want to even call it a party. It's more of a communist socialist agenda. And this is not the first time that they tried this crap in America. It's been tried upon many, many years. It's been tried upon in the 70s. We've seen this in the 60s. We've seen this even in the 20s with the Spanish flu. This is nothing new. Social distancing, masking, vaccines. I mean, this is nothing new. This has all happened once before. And we're seeing history literally repeat itself. And I've said time after time, PJ, if you don't know your history, you're condemned to repeat it, and that's what we're doing. We're repeating our own history all over again.
Well, it might be even worse than that because those of us who know our history seem to be condemned to sit back and watch it.
Yeah. And we have a president right now in the White House that's completely coherent, doesn't know anything from anything. Literally just babbles about everything, doesn't have no knowledge, doesn't have true accurate knowledge. And this is coming from, people that are seeing this. Check this video out, PJ. This is coming from Sky News, our good friends across the pond. Literally now realizing, like, what Joe was trying to talk about the other day. He was saying something the other day about some kind of train or something. Check this video out.
Welcome back to the Friday Showdown, and let's dive into this week's edition of What in God's Name is Joe Biden trying to say?
Know the little expression, time is money. As one computer said, if you're on the train and they say Portal Bridge, you know you better make other plans.
Let's go over what he just said there. Let's just not ignore that. Let's go over it. As one computer said, if you're on the train and they say Portal Bridge, you know you better make other plans. I've got nothing. Okay, let's leave that to one side and see what else.
I mean, the video is, I know it's a little, it's a little humor, it's a little comical, but I mean, seriously, if you have news reporters, anchors in other countries realizing that this president that we have in the Oval Office on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is basically not only a foreign threat, he's a foreign threat to other countries. Okay, and I'll get to that in a bit. But he's a national threat to our own democracy, our own way of life. This is a incoherent leader that doesn't know anything.
I almost expected a joke. Joe Biden used to be very quick on his feet. He was at one time very good at the game of politicking. And I expected something like, what did one computer say to the other computer?
Exactly.
And then he just kind of trails off. As one computer said, you get on the train and you take the train, and it seems like no one knows where this particular train was going to end up. And I watched the video with you, and I still don't know what I just watched or listened to.
Apparently, PJ, the elevator doesn't go all the way up to the top floor with this president. I mean,
it's very clear that he's not the one running the show.
No.
That he is not the one that is in charge. That he's not the one giving the orders. That he is very much just being hauled out and wheeled out in front of the cameras. We have literally seen where, for no reason, has ushered the press corps out of the room that the president was speaking in. As he was speaking, mid-sentence, I have seen them say, let's go, and rush the press corps out. Jen Psaki, it was highly rumored during the campaign, not even since he's been elected, but during the campaign, that he would have more coherent days, which anyone who has dealt with any senior citizen with mental issues will tell you. They have days where they're very coherent.
Oh, yeah.
And she would allow Joe Biden to talk to the press. And then when he was incoherent, she would come out and say, hey, no Joe today. And because the American press, because the corporate media is a wing of the Democrat Party, they would accept it and they would go home.
Exactly. But I mean, this is Joe we're talking about. If it was the other way around, PJ, if it was Donald Trump, they would be like, impeachment. They would find something.
Well, look at the second term of Ronald Reagan. I still talk to people who will tell you he was in the throes of dementia toward the end of his tenure. He was babbling and incoherent. And I was a little kid at the time, but I watch video of him, and I don't see a babbling, incoherent man at all. But I can imagine that would be on the news every night. Saturday Night Live would not shut up about it. Trevor Noah and John Oliver would be going off about it every single night, ad nauseum.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's getting to a point right now where we have to, if Nancy Pelosi won't invoke the 25th Amendment on him, what else? I mean, is this are we stuck with him until 2024?
No, I don't believe he could make it to 2024. But if you take any of the rumors at face value, Kamala Harris is gunning for him very hard. I'm sure you have seen the rumors that Jill Biden is wondering about invoking the 26th Amendment against her.
Really?
Because she's running. Yes.
See, this is news to me. I didn't hear that actually, because there's a lot of platforms that are not reporting on that.
It's easily verifiable. The best person on this subject is Jack Posobiec.
Okay.
And Jack Posobiec's intelligence has been 100% accurate. I really doubted him at first because of some of the claims he made. But yeah, they are looking to throw Joe Biden under the bus, Team Kamala Harris, and looking to ascend to the presidency as soon as possible. She has hired a new image consultant. That image consultant happens to be the brother-in-law of Jen Psaki, but I'm sure that you have seen her fake staged cringeworthy NASA video where she talks about space with kids and all of the stage optics that she has started to employ, because she knows and her team knows that she is a extremely unpopular vice president. She has
by far the worst. Yeah. She doesn't have a political machine behind her. Joe Biden has a political machine for as long as he has been a good soldier for the Democrat Party. And Hillary Clinton obviously was extremely unpopular, but she had a political base. Well, Kamala Harris does not have that, but she is looking to remake her image now, and you can look, I would very much predict early next year, before the midterm elections, that they make a move, or she makes a move, to become the president of the United States. Yeah,
there's rumors that she has already started to look for who is going to be her vice president, and she wants to pick a woman to be in that spot as well.
Well, I mean, look at this. I'm going to plug in one more video here. Just on Joe himself. I mean, just check this out. This is what people don't see. I see it. Check this out, guys.
I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts. The president has a big stick. We choose truth over facts.
Check my shake, man. Let's do push-ups together, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do.
One man stands ready to deliver change we desperately need. A man I'm proud to call my friend. A man who will be the next president of the United States, Barack America. ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States of America, Barack Obama. We can speak out and be more straightforward. I'm not going to be a mule. I got something to do. I got to go do boom, boom, boom.
Hillary Clinton is as qualified or more qualified than I am to be Vice President of the United States of America. Let's get that straight. And quite frankly, it might have been a better pick than me, but she's first rate.
I know I'm called middle class, Joe. It's not meant as a compliment. Means I'm not sophisticated. I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts.
A damn liar, man. That's not true. I can get things done. That's why I'm running. If you want to check my shape on, let's do push-ups together, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do.
To the word united. To the number 30330. 30 330 or 303-330 or BOO. Wait. You got it. That saves billions of gallons of gasoline. I mean, billions of I think it's $2.3 billion worth of, $500 billion in savings and 2-point-something billion metric tons of CO2 going in the air. Well, folks,
I had to stop it there. It was getting a little bad. I mean, yeah, this is the Commander-in-Chief of the United States of America, you know?
I can't tell you how much I enjoyed that. I think the correct answer to the president is to laugh at him. Let's Go Brandon has been a huge movement. I think that's making a huge impact.
Oh, sure.
I think these people, they love power. They love to look down at the rest of us. And the best thing we can do is meme them and laugh at them and treat them like their power is illegitimate, because they only have as much power as we give them.
Oh,
when
sure.
we stop believing it's real, it's real.
Yes.
Or it is not real. When we start taking our mask off and stop complying, that's when their power breaks.
Well, you know, check this out here. I'm going to plug in this little thing here of just, I want to get into big tech. I know that was one of the topics we have discussed the other day about big tech and, you know, where it's going and if we should continue using the services of Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and everything else. And, you know, just look at this, this chart here, producer Josh and I had come up with. You got to check this out. Just, yeah, 1 second. Now, this is basically the chart here that we had come up with. Let me get rid of the Patriot Angle podcast is still up. There it is. Okay, so this is the chart here. Google, Facebook, Apple, Twitter, Amazon, and then Microsoft, right? So the different categories here, PJ, of course, you have the name, gender, birthday, phone number, email address, and then all these companies of literally how much they spy on you. Your name, pretty much across the board with Google, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft. Gender, not so much of Apple, Twitter, and Amazon. Birthday, not so much of Apple, Twitter, and Amazon. Phone number, pretty much across the entire board. And email address across the entire board. So, I mean, what are we seeing here? We're seeing like, just complete invasion of privacy.
Absolutely.
And I think that, you know, when it was first designed, and, you know, I don't want to bash the people so much of, Mark Zuckerberg and, Bezos and everything else of big tech. But, I don't think it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I do. Just so you know, if you want to bash them, I'm on that train. I'm on board.
Well, I do bash him with the shadow banning and the censorship because, I'm not sure if you know, but I get shadow banned on my Facebook page of the Patriot Angle podcast several times a day. And they're either fact checking me or they're taking videos off or they're, literally, I mean, the whole, fuck Joe Biden chant, that video was basically taken off. I had to take that video, PJ, and basically upload it to Rumble, which I'm putting more content on Rumble now because Rumble seems to be more conservative as a social media platform than the two platforms put together, and they haven't been around that long. Rumble, like what, in the last 2 years, possibly 3?
Yeah, it's much more free speech oriented. They just bought Locals, which Dave Rubin started, which is where Archangel Protective Intelligence is located. They're much more dedicated to free speech. They weren't calling themselves conservative or liberal, but they're the ones that are trying to be an alternative on the censorship issue to things like YouTube.
Yeah, they're basically, that's how they label themselves as. They label themselves as an alternative to YouTube, but more conservative. They don't constantly monitor you.
Friendly.
What's that?
Conservative friendly, at least.
Oh yeah, there's no monitoring whatsoever. They pretty much leave the free speech, the free to everything to the individual to upload whatever content. Now, I mean, to an extent, if you're posting like obscene, nudity and stuff like that, there is some monitoring, of course, because just in case there was, a child that might, get the glimpse of it or access to it, I can understand that part. But when it comes to, saying your First Amendment rights, I mean, that shouldn't be censored at all, which is another, I mean, that's being attacked every single day.
No, what we see is big tech has really become a wing of the government. Jen Psaki has actually come out and admitted that Facebook to monitor certain extremist content, to block certain extremist content, and defining that however they want to define it, of course. And extremist content really just means anything that is to the right of Joe Biden. And they're using this as a workaround for your First Amendment rights.
Yeah. I mean, we're seeing it every single day, and then we have other people too. I don't know if if you tune into The View, ABC's The View. I had that on my podcast, my audio podcast, actually on Spotify the other day, with Joe Bayer, literally now trying to bring in more of that cancel culture crap, which is probably, PJ, this show has to be the most radical, leftist, liberal show in America, Yeah, there she is right there, Joe Bayer.
It's I try not to follow The View, but every once in a while I see a clip or hear a clip, of course. Some of their more egregious stuff kind of gets sent to me.
Yeah.
The real problem is you have housewives that are watching and digesting this crap, and a lot of it is not presented as liberal. They usually have a token conservative that they can bring on and beat up, whether it's Candace Cameron or even a establishment Republican like Liz Cheney.
Which both of them, they're under fire. They're under fire. Both of them are under fire. Liz Cheney and who else is it? The other one that she's very independent. I forgot her name. She's not even on a network. She's similar to myself, very like an independent type of podcast host, but she's more of like a vlogger. She's on Instagram a lot. She does I can't remember her name. She's got like blonde hair, very very thin. I forgot her name, to be honest with you. I know it's a bad example bringing up somebody I can't even remember the name, but
she's on The View.
No, she's not on The View. She's a conservative, but she's being attacked every single day. They're literally like, yeah. She came out with an Instagram video the other day saying like how many accounts that she had to come up with in like the last 2 months just on Instagram. Launching content that the left doesn't want, to be viewed, whether it's true or not. I mean, still, again, attack on free speech, It's getting bad, PJ. It really is.
I would like to tell you it's going to get better.
Yeah.
But it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Well, this is what our society has become. Came out with a little clip here. Producer Josh, plug this in right here so PJ can check it out. Hope you like that. We actually took all day to create that. That was actually a video that Josh had created earlier today, and that's basically what our society has become. Yeah,
anytime you can make anything look vintage, I'm a sucker for it. So I enjoyed that quite a lot.
Yeah. We thought you might enjoy that because we have been kind of like looking at some of your your content that you post on Instagram, and we've gotten to check out your website. Actually, if you want to plug into the show, you had sent me your website, which we actually checked out. Some really really interesting stuff. So go ahead, the floor is yours.
Yeah, it's Archangel. It's Archangel Protective Intelligence.locals.com.
Right.
And I don't know if you do show notes or anything that you can put it up in, but
well, we actually have we just literally just 2 days ago, and it's still in production. We're still working out the kind of bells and whistles on it, as we are here on StreamYard, and which we're also on Twitch, believe it or not. Just earlier tonight was our first broadcast on Twitch, which I was kind of baffled. I was like, I don't know, Josh, it's more of like for a gaming type of website. But he's like, no, we'll do good on Twitch. So yeah, we have our website.
I'm sorry, I think I got my own link wrong. It's archangelintelligence.locals.com. It's not Protective Intelligence. That is the name of the actual organization.
Yeah, we were gonna correct that actually. So it's the Archangel Protective.
Archangel, yep, and that's spelled ARCH, Archangel, just like in the Bible it would be spelled. Archangelintelligence.locals.com, and that again is the site that that Dave Rubin, the platform Dave Rubin, invested and built and founded.
Oh, wow.
And Rumble actually owns it now. So it is a much more free speech platform.
Right.
Unfortunately, there is a small paywall, and $3 is the cheapest. I have mine set up to the cheapest because I want it to be completely accessible to anyone who wants it. But we put up content that you will not see anywhere else, and we put up protective intelligence content that is designed to keep the membership safe. We have OSINT people from all over the world, so we have access to open source intelligence people all over the world. We can get that content, we can get that information.
Not a problem. We just literally plugged it into the stream here right now for you, the Archangel intelligence.locals.com. So give the listeners here, the followers here on YouTube, Facebook, our new friends at Twitch, if they want to check out that website, guys, go ahead and check it out. You heard it from the man himself, Archangel PJ here. Check out that website. A lot of good content. We were actually checking a little bit of it out earlier today. I see the very, very top of that website has the article with China on how the CDC has taken to regularly sanitizing factory workers. You want to get into that, PJ?
Yes. Not the CDC, but the CCP.
Oh, CCP. Excuse me. Yes, right. CCP. Yeah, I had to look at that. Okay, yeah, CCP.
There's a lot of acronyms out there.
Yeah.
Yes. So they have. You're seeing them now come in, and I certainly don't know exactly what they're spraying, but they're coming into factories, they're coming into office buildings, and the videos show people are still working at their desks like nothing is going on.
Yeah.
They're coming in full hazmat gear, and they're misting the entire office with something or other. The other day,
Okay.
there was a there's an outbreak. They found one, and it literally is one case of COVID in Shanghai. They locked 34,000 people in Shanghai Disneyland. You can see people running for the entrances and the exits, but they have sealed them off quietly before anyone had known it. They tested all 34,000 people before they were allowed to leave. I have video in the Hebei province, and I might be butchering that pronunciation.
And this is right in China, you're saying?
Yes. They're now sealing people into their houses again. They are warning people to stock up on food. And this could be because of an incoming war with Taiwan, or stocking up for an invasion of Taiwan. This could be because they are freaking out over their own economic troubles, and because they are running out of food, they are seeing a threat to their power. But it could also be that there is a new outbreak, and I believe very possibly there could be a new variant or a new, more powerful coronavirus, a completely new disease that they could be trying to contain within China because they have become much more aggressive over the last month.
I'm hearing new variants. I'm hearing rumors of, possibly further advanced leaks on Fauci himself. What does he know? Is there more to this COVID thing than we know? Is it a cover up to something huge that they don't want to explain to the American public? Like we don't know. I've heard rumors of. This might sound crazy and a little barbaric, but it's what makes my podcast great. It's unfiltered. It's unscripted. I've even heard that it could even be possibly an out of this world cover up. Can you believe that? Like aliens?
I never really get into the alien stuff just because.
Hey guys, I know you heard me promote Blip billboards on the podcast many times. Not only are they a great company, but they're our great friends here on the podcast. Blip Billboards is doing a holiday promotion. Yes, the 2021 holiday season is going to be a big one, guys. Okay? And just 94% of U.S. adults plan to do holiday shopping, with 40% of those adults planning to spend more money than the previous years. 58% of individuals will shop earlier than in past years, and 31% reported that out of home ads centered around special offers and promotions are the most helpful. Guys, get ahead of your competitors by starting your holiday billboard campaigns early. Okay? And Blip has new billboards popping up all over the place, including Chicago, Illinois, Clement, Louisiana, Bolivia, North Carolina, and Youngsville, North Carolina, along with many other locations, guys. Just about every state now has a Blip digital billboard, okay? And also, too, guys, Blip gives back. Yes. Have you heard of their nonprofit program? Well, Blip gives back. With Blip's one-on-one matching program, any amount you prepay to your account will be matched by Blip to generate more awareness and donations for the important work you do. Just fill out an application today on their website and start spreading the word about your organization. Also, too, guys, why building brand awareness is critical. What you missed on earlier could save the life of many, guys. So join the Blip Digital Billboard Nation, okay, on their website. Head over to Blip Billboards. You can Google it, guys. It'll just pop right up. blipbillboard.com. Check them out today, guys. They're a phenomenal company. They work. We use them here on the podcast for our promotions, our advertising, and we love them, guys. They're not your average overexpensive company. They do work with your financial budget. You can set your daily budget as low as $5 a day, guys. Yeah, you heard me. $5 a day. Head over to Blip, guys. Sign up. Get on their awesome program and start promoting your product or advertising your product today, guys. You'll love them.
Mike Gardner, a host, unfiltered, unscripted, raw.
Covering it up myself, but the American intelligence community, so the American intelligence agencies who have been looking into the possible Wuhan leak theory, have come out recently and said, we may never know the origins of this, and the Biden administration has certainly put some pressure on them to stop investigating it. So I believe that there is a pretty massive cover-up going on. Big Pharma has really become a very powerful lobby in our government.
Right.
With the World Health Organization and governments around the world, even some developing countries having to put up as collateral military bases around the world. A lot of this is being censored.
Oh, sure. And, if we need to ask any type of questions, I mean, this is pretty much the man that we need to ask right here. This is, Dr. Fauci, Dr. Doom, what I call him, I mean, the guy.
Unfortunately, you're never going to get a straight answer.
No, because they lie, and they're known to lie, and we'll never know. We'll never know the true origin, the true roots, the true anything about COVID. They're going to constantly cover it up. They're going to constantly come up with these variants. They're going to constantly have control over the people, and we're gonna see that. We're gonna see that unfold.
Well, Dr. Fauci is also in a damage control position right now. I don't know how much you've seen about the funding of experiments on animals, on dogs, what they call Beaglegate.
Oh, wow.
They funded, the NIH funded experiments where they took dogs and locked their heads in cages, let meal flies devour them. They were doing gain of function research on animals, on insects. They were cutting the vocal cords of dogs so they could work without the barking. And they were testing AIDS medication on orphans right here in the United States.
That's terrible. Oh, God.
Yeah, I just got fact-checked on Facebook the other day because I had posted that, and I had posted that I'm an intelligence consultant for Koala Media as well. I posted a link to that story on Koala Media, and I got fact-checked because the fact-checkers had claimed that there is no definitive evidence that the deaths were caused by any of these experiments. Well, there was no one that claimed that they caused any deaths. The horrific part is that they were experimenting on orphans to begin with, not that the orphans necessarily died because of the experiments, but it would be a heck of a coincidence for these orphans to die during these experiments.
Right.
And it not be attributed at all to the experiments. It's like some of the vaccine side effects we're seeing. Saying there's no evidence that people are having heart attacks, strokes, and outbreaks of Bell palsy because of the vaccine. Well, it's either because of the vaccine or it's a really huge coincidence.
It's got to be one or the other. It's got to be one or the other. I mean, like you said, we'll never know. We'll never know. I got about another 30 seconds left here, PJ, on the show before we close it out. But it's one of those rare moments in American history that in 50 years from now we're still going to be scratching our heads, understanding like what really happened in 2019 in China. You know what I mean?
Well, all I can tell you about that far into the future is one day I'm going to have to answer to my daughter and my grandkids. And at least I can say I stood up and I said no.
Yeah. You stood up and you said no. Yeah. You know, it's one of those rare moments in time where, you know, we all have to keep on, you know, just hoping for the best, you know what I mean? Hoping for the best that, you know, hopefully times get better and, you know, we can bypass this whole COVID hysteria. We understand how serious it is as a disease. We understand how, you know, how to avoid, you know, contact with, you know, sick individuals and, you know, cover your mouth when you sneeze and wash your hands for, you know, a good amount of time. We all understand that. I think that was all explained to us when we were children, right? I mean, you know, it's getting times right now, PJ, where we have to like literally, you know, get back to normalization, get back to reality, understand this is going to go away soon. You know, if you know, masking all this crap, this is not who we are, PJ. I mean, we're not third world. This is the United States of America, the greatest country on the face of the earth, you know?
And hopefully we can stand up and say we won't be manipulated this easy.
Hopefully. Well, with that being said, guys, my name is Mike of the Patriot Angle Podcast. Today we were joined by PJ of Archangel Protective Intelligence. You can go on his website, which we plugged into the show. If you missed the website, I'll also plug it into the Instagram page as well as our Facebook page. That way we can give you some more time to look at the website. And also, too, guys, if you missed this live stream, you can check us out again on YouTube as well as our Facebook page. With that being said, guys, thank you for joining us today. And thank you, PJ, for coming. It's been a while since we've had you on the show.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. We'll talk very soon, you and I.
All right, buddy. You be safe out there.
You too.
All right.
You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast, an Anchor platform.